Hello there, guys. My name is Garrett Sims. Welcome back to the podcast. I apologize for the atrocity that is my hair today. Don't know why that's happening. About to go to the gym after this gets over, so I got my favorite pre-workout, Ghost. Absolutely love it. It's my favorite. I am drinking sour watermelon, and for those of you that are like, dude, sour watermelon, how could that taste any bit good? It's really, really good. Like, I've tried. I think I already talked about this, but I've tried Sonic Cherry Limeade, the sour watermelon, and the blue raz, and it goes sour watermelon, blue raz, cherry limeade in that order. Yeah, there's no give or take. I'm trying something new. I'm trying like this new frame rates deal, and it was at 30, but now I kind of switched it to 60, and I'm figuring out that maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know. This could be a very bad idea. I'm gonna try to see if I can fix it right now. I doubt it. Yeah, my video. Yeah, I can't do it while it's active. I don't know. I'll have to see how that's looking, cause I'm gonna turn it down real quick. No, it doesn't look bad. I think we're good. I think we're good from that standpoint. But if you read the title, I'm gonna try something. I want to try something new because I'm always about spicing things up. Going in different directions and trying to see what appeals to most people. And last night I was scrolling through TikTok and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, there's this new trend. If you haven't heard of it, it's called Papa Chalky Milk. And guess what? Your pains are gonna go away. And that just hit me so hard in the nostalgia moment. I was like, dude, like I remember coming home from middle school, after a long day. You get off the bus, you run inside, you pop your chalky milk, and then you go play GTA with the boys. And literally, I just read the description. But no, I mean, it just brought some nostalgia to me because I'm like, I remember those days, and I remember very vividly. And so, I was just like, I could do something like this. Remember when? Have nostalgic moments and just talk about some of the funniest stories that happened to me in middle school. And I mean, there's a lot of them. Like middle school for me, I thought it was really fun. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I hate being here. It's like high school, because they tried to set it up. Like in my middle school, they tried to set it up very much like high school. To a T, kind of get you ready for that next step. And I just remember so many things that happened, like such a defining moment in your life to, go through middle school. Like, and I always find this very weird, and I don't know how many people can apply to this, but I always feel like at the time you're living in, you feel like you're smart. Like you just think back and you're like, I'm trying to make this sound confusing, like, in middle school, you probably thought you were smart as you were ever going to get, like common sense wise, being smart enough to realize certain situations. And then you get older, so like now you're at where I'm like a freshman in college, and I look back and I said, man, I did stupid things like you wouldn't even think were smart. And one of the middle schools, because there's so many stories I could talk about, but I'm going to talk about probably one of my favorite days. Like, I mean, this was one of my favorite days that ever happened to me in middle school, and it happened in our English class. I was in 7th grade, which, I don't know if I should say the name of the teacher because I'm like 50-50 on it, on whether I should say it or not. Like, my friends would get it if they ever watched it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say, we had this teacher named Miss Ford, and she was awesome. Actually, I would kind of say I'm friends with her daughter, who was a grade above me, and we would have her class around lunchtime every day. So like we would go from that class to lunch. So it's about in the middle of the day, when like all the headaches and stuff start from middle school and stuff like that. Like that is when the headaches would start to kick in for everybody. Like, oh, after this we got just one more class. When is it gonna be over? And there was one day, like, and we just messed around in that class. Like, I'm serious. Like, we did nothing. And, so me and my cousin was in that class, my cousin Briley, and we had my buddy Colby, Keltner, and there's probably a couple others I'm forgetting. And the one day we were just, I mean, like, we were just caught Miss Ford on a bad day. And I still remember this because I found it funny. Like, she told us to knock it off like several different times. Like, Dylan's throwing pencils up in the ceiling trying to get it stuck. And me and Briley were talking or something like that. And I just remember she like abruptly stops class and just loses it on us, like a teacher, like any teacher would when her students are misbehaving. And my first reaction is as she's yelling, because I don't think we'd ever seen her yell like this before, is I grabbed a book and I put my head in the book and I'm like peeking out the top, because at this point, like, I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? She starts sending us out of class one by one because, everybody has like the buddy rooms or the safe seats or whatever you want to call them. Like, when you misbehave, you get a warning, then you get sent to the buddy room, and then if you misbehaving in the buddy room or you misbehave so bad that you can't even go to a buddy room, you get sent to the principal's. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just watching her send my friends one by one out of the class, and I'm like, please don't send me, please don't send me, like, because nobody wants to come home from a day of middle school and be like, Mom, I got in trouble. What do you get in trouble for being stupid? I mean, my mom would have killed me. So I'm sitting here, God knows what book I'm looking at, and then she says, Colby, get out of the room, go to this classroom, Keltner out of this one, and Briley to this one. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, man, I'm waiting for her to call my name, and I'm just looking down like I'm reading a book, and I guess she totally forgot about me. Because I'm sitting there with a book held up to my face, and I'm like, dude, I did not just get called, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, we're just going to take it down to, like, I don't think I removed my head from that book until the bell rung to go to the next class, because at that point, I'm shivering in my boots. Like, what happens if she's going to be like, oh, yeah, Garrett, I forgot about you. Get out of my class. Like, that's just my entire thought process the entire time. I was like, she is going to send me at some point. And I remember Briley and Colby and Keltner, and there's others, but I think there's one more. We're just furious because they're like, you lucky you didn't get sent out of the room. They're like, and I was like, dude, I honestly don't know how. I was just peeking in a book, and everybody, there's a couple people looking at me like expecting that I was going to go. I don't know. That was just, it was so crazy because that class was fun from the point of, like, we kind of just, Miss Ford was such a cool teacher, and we just kind of did whatever. Like, we would just mess around the entire class period. We wouldn't really do anything. Sometimes we would just sit there and read, but most of the time we were doing something. Like, we were just doing some form of stupid stuff, and that day, like, I'm just unlocking memories in my head that's like, boom, I forgot that was there. And I just think it's so funny. Like, I think that's just a funny way to kick it off because, I mean, we've all been there. Like, we've all been in that situation where we were either sent out of the room, we've done something stupid. Like, you get that sense of just, like, oh, crap in your body, and you start shaking. Like, I find it hilarious. Like, no matter what trouble I get into, I start shaking, and my gut gets the same feeling every time. Like, it's hilarious. It's like, oh, dude, you're going to get in trouble. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I know I'm going to get in trouble. And my body's shaking. I don't know how to handle it. And the anxiety starts going up. And you're just like, oh, my God. I just find it hilarious. And there's actually this one time in 6th grade in my ELA class, I was talking in the back with a buddy. And I got sent out of the room. And I'm telling you, this in 6th grade, my class was hour 1, and it was the honors class. So, like, you were expected to be, like, better than everybody else. So God knows how I got in it. And the one day I was talking to Zach, my friend Zach, and I just remember Miss Walsh looking at me, and she's like, "Will you stop talking? Like, go to the buddy room." And I got sent to the buddy room for talking. And I mean, this was at the time where, like, like you were in 6th grade, and like now actually a teacher yelling at you and sending you somewhere, like, you're scared. Like, I never have gotten in trouble. Like, I've always been kind of a good student when it comes down to that type of stuff. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. I try not to get in trouble. But that day I was shaking. Like, I had to sit. I mean, this is literally what they do. They put you in a desk in a corner and tell you you cannot talk. Like, you don't get to do anything. No phone, no book, no nothing. You just have to sit there until class is over. Now, lucky enough for me, I was in that class we were going over. I remember very vividly. We were going over Edgar Allan Poe and I was already like, I had to talk to keep myself from falling asleep. So as soon as I got sent to that buddy room, I was kind of like tired, so I'm just sitting there like I'm like, and then the bell rings, and then you go on with your day, and whatever. You come back to class next day, and you hope you fix the problem, and hope it's not a problem again. You know what I mean? And that actually brings me to my next point of remember when. This is hilarious because I remember that day. Everybody used to wear the Nike socks, the Nike Elites. Like, everybody used to wear them. They were such a trend. It was the Nike Elites. It was like sandals, some type of tennis shoe, the Elite shorts, and then some type of athletic top. That was the trend. Like, it's still the trend nowadays. Like, that's just what they wear. At least in my hometown, that's still the way it goes. Like, it's the athletic top, the Elite shorts, and the Nike socks. And I remember I asked my mom for a pair, and we finally found some, and it's white, like the base is white, and then the Elite part's like a baby blue. And I'm like, oh my God, now I finally got a pair of Elites, and I put them suckers on, and they went all the way up to my knees. And my mom said, Garrett, you can't wear your socks like that, because she didn't realize how big they were. Like, you didn't really know how the sizes ran. She's like, you cannot wear those to school. She said, you will look stupid. And I said, nah, Mom, everybody wears the Elites, man. I'm going to be cool. I showed up looking ridiculous. I mean, I wore those socks for the first time when I actually got sent to the buddy room in 6th grade, but I just remember that, and I thought it was cool, and everybody's like, dude, you gotta pull your socks down. This looks terrible. And I was like, nah, man, I look cool, so I'm walking down the hallway looking like Pippi Longstockings, and everybody's probably making fun of me. And back then, I used to wear neon green on top of baby blue and red. Like, there was no coordination. Like, I would probably take a look at myself and said, wow, that's really what it was. And I'm not a fashion guy. Like, I just kind of like, these colors don't really clash. Like, this gray, this white, I'll put it on. Black or white socks. Cool. Nobody's going to make fun of me, But, I mean, I just remember, because I'm pretty sure I was wearing, like, blue shorts, a red shirt, and then the long socks. And I'm like, there is no way that, like, I think I was pretty lucky not to get bullied for that, because I looked stupid. Like, I even look at pictures back then, and I was like, dude, I looked stupid, like, beyond belief. And that's just what everybody wore. But of course, there's me, and when I get socks that are too long, guess what? I wear them anyway because I think I look cooler than I am. I mean, I think that's just part of the whole middle school thing. Is like, you think you look cooler than you do. Like, there's a point where you're like, oh man, I'm rocking this stuff, and then you go back like 4 or 5 years into the future, and you look back and you're like, wow, yeah, I'm surprised you weren't stuffed into a locker. I mean, they did give us lockers and stuff like that, and you had to keep your phone in there. Like, that's what sucked most about middle school. And like, that's really the main difference between middle school and high school, at least from from my mind, is like, you just didn't have your phone. Like, that was really the only difference. Like, yeah, you had more classes in high school, but honestly, they didn't feel as long, Like, they weren't that bad. But, like, I can't even think of going through a school day without my phone. Can't even do it. Like, we're so driven into phones that it's insane. So then when, like, you go back and you look at middle school, it's like, how did you actually get through the day? That's where I come back and I wrap it full circle. You did stupid stuff, which eventually got you sent out of the room. So, I'm just trying to cover all things here, and I'm like, dude, this is insane. Like, you can't have your phone. So then guess what you do? You take away my phone, I do stupid stuff. You know what happens when I do stupid stuff? I get sent out of the room. You want to know what happens when I get sent out of the room? People are laughing at me because I dress like Pippi Longstockings. I mean, that's basically how it went for me for a little bit. Like, I didn't get in trouble a lot, but when I did, it was not fun. But I dude, it still shakes me to this day that I didn't get in trouble, and somehow I got away with just all that stupid stuff. Okay, so that part's over. If you guys want me to continue this, because I would love to. I have so many stories. Like, I just have so many funny stories from middle school and high school, and I'd even go back and throw it back to second. Some would say I have a pretty gosh darn good memory, but Gonna move off that. Gonna talk a little bit of sports. Scotty Mills, the dude that burned old Kevin King in the NFC Championship game, started talking a little bit of smack to Tyreek Hill. He said, "Listen, I feel pretty confident." He said, "I feel pretty confident in a race versus Tyreek Hill." And I'm gonna be completely honest with Scotty Mills. I watched Mecole and Tyreek Hill race, and there was about a 2-person body length in between them, and Mecole ran a 3.3. 4.33. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there is a lot of people other than an Olympic track star that can take Tyreek Hill in like a 40-yard sprint. He beat Tia. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you watch that one video from the Bills game, and you're just like, wow. Like, he would have, even those defenders that had angles, they would have totally got burnt by Tyreek Hill if it hadn't been for Poyer coming up behind him, knocking him on his cleat, just slowing down a little bit. Because if that didn't happen, that play was a touchdown. And, I mean, that's just how fast he is. He can run a little slant, and then boom. And, being completely honest with yourself, I don't really think Tyreek Hill's like a big top speed guy. But I think his acceleration is what makes him so fast. Like, that dude can accelerate on a dime. I mean, it is just impressive. Like, and he's got top speed too. Like, but his acceleration is super good. Like, that's just being athletic. That's a super freak. So I don't mean anything against old Scotty Mills, but he ain't winning that race. No way. Like, and he could shock me, but I don't think there's a lot of people in the NFL that would beat Tyreek Hill in a race. I don't even think John Ross could, and John Ross technically ran a faster 40. But then again, Tyreek Hill may take that personally, and Super Bowl, just run a straight fade and see if he can beat the defender. And down the field, Mahomes throws a dime, gets a touchdown, then he runs over to the past the Bucs sideline and be like, "Oh, I'm a little bit faster than you, old Sky Mills." I don't know. I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with it. It's really interesting. Because the Pro Bowl isn't going to be played. That's been known for a while. They're going to have like a little celebration, and then they're going to have like a couple NFL players play against each other on Madden, Pro Bowl, Madden, whatever. And I probably won't watch it. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I will. Not that I don't like the Pro Bowl, and not that I wouldn't want to celebrate or anything like that, but the Pro Bowl is already boring as it is. So why would I want to watch 2 NFL players play Madden when I could just play the Pro Bowl on Madden by myself? And that's just, I get it. COVID kind of blows, and there's just not enough regulation and time to get everybody tested and get a game going. And so, yeah, I get that. But I did see a picture of the uniforms. I might see if I can pull that up, because these things, wow. They picked the wrong year to pull out these uniforms, because they are freaking clean, man. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up this. Nobody look at that. Yeah, I can get in trouble for doing that. That could be very bad. NFL Pro Bowl unis. See if that even goes. I don't know. It may not work. That's why. Uniforms 2021. See, it takes a while. That's why I decided to do it like this. These things are really clean, though. They did like a red, blue, and white, and it kind of reminds me of the old ones. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find a picture here. I'm kind of upset. Would it be 20? Would it be 2020? I don't know. Let's see here. Gilmore showed his. The AFC's wearing white, like the base is white, and then the NFC's is blue. And let's see here. Okay, hold on. We're gonna get something here. We're gonna get something. I'm just wasting time. Okay, it should be right here. Wait for it to pop up. But they look really clean. Like they picked. Because I didn't really like them last year. I didn't get really the whole idea between black and gold and really see where that played in. They still look... I thought the gold ones looked better than the black ones. And then you go the couple years before, they did like the base color with that ugly neon yellow, neon green. So I really wasn't a fan of that. Okay, I got this pulled up. So I'm going to go ahead and put my screen on here. See if it'll even pop up. We'll do it like that. Okay, hold on. This is what happens when you don't know how to work things. Did all that work just so that way it won't pop up? I have to open up a new tab. Where's this new tab at? I'm on. Sorry about that for people that hate when people drink. Ooh. Well, I can't close this. If I close it, then let me do this. Let me go like this. Okay, guys, this is all a learning experience. That's what you have to understand. Okay, that's just gonna pop that back up. Fantastic. Now I want to open a new tab. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. I apologize. That is my bad. I'll try to see if I'll look at it. I'll see. If you haven't seen them, look at them. I mean, these things are clean. Like, they look like somebody designed them, and whoever designed them deserves to get a raise. Best way I can describe it, like I said, the AFC is a white kind of base. They got like this gradient on the sides that fades from red to blue. All the logos are basically done in silver. It's got that cool little neckline, silver V. The numbers are really clean. Got the blue outline with silver and then the red numbers. Did a fantastic job. So we're going to end with food for thought. We'll ask a little question here. What is your guys' favorite Pro Bowl that you have ever watched? I don't watch a lot of them. But probably my favorite was the one where Mahomes' first Pro Bowl, his only Pro Bowl that he'll probably ever play in. That one was my favorite because that's the only one I can really remember. One of my favorite moments was the hit that Sean Taylor put on the punter when they tried to fake punt it, and then just Sean Taylor comes up running out of nowhere. Boom! It looked like a scene out of WWE, and I loved it. Like, I still see those highlights. Like, I'm surprised that one hasn't even came up considering it's Pro Bowl week, but it's even more upsetting now that there's like no football, because normally you could say, you know what, I'm looking forward to the Pro Bowl because it's at least football, and they normally do a good job with that. So, food for thought, what's your favorite Pro Bowl? What's your favorite Pro Bowl moment? Let me know down in the comments. Been a great Wednesday. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday. My name's Garrett Sims, and this has been the podcast.